Late Night L.O.A.D. The Late Night L.O.A.D. Welcome to the Late Night L.O.A.D. Late Night L.O.A.D.
Hey everybody, look, it's the leprechaun.
Hey.
Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody, and it is a Late Night L.O.A.D. St. Patrick's Day edition. Except for I won't be doing any drinking because I'm Web C, so
I may take a shot with you later on, but as of right now, I'm not either.
and so you want to read off that other card you were just reading real quick, and we
Yeah.
jump
Let's
into other things.
let me pull that up. So the other card that I'm looking at for the commander has Menace. It's a 5 cost. Menace, Toxic 1. It's a 3/3. When he enters the battlefield, I get to create 3 1/1 colorless artifact creature tokens that have Toxic 1 and they can't block. And then he gets +1/+1 for each poison counter on my opponent, so that my opponents have.
Okay.
So it's between that one and the exile from the top of the library one for running. I mean, the problem I have with the commander that came with the box is the deck's not built to really utilize other people's cards. You know what I mean? It's really going to depend on where at least this I can pump out some more creatures with toxic and try and push more poison counters on my opponents. But I don't know. Probably gonna dick around with both of them here later on tonight with Kiriana because she got herself a new deck too. So we'll mess around with them and have some fun.
Caden flushed out the mechanics she likes about her new artifact deck.
Dope.
And she solidified that. She can give her artifacts like +8/+8 and trample and just attack with a swarm of Thopter tokens. It's fun. So that's what she can do. And she really likes the mechanic.
Did you tell her that I want to do an edit on her Merfolk deck?
Yep. I told her.
Cool.
And then Little Man, he said, oh, since Sister gets to put the deck together, I'm going to put a deck together. So he threw together it's a commander. She's I think it's blue and white or blue and green, but whenever it hits the battlefield, target creature doubles the counters it has. So we made it so he can bounce his commander to his hand, drop his commander, play, target one of his creatures with counters, pump up a big creature, and then attack. So
that's got to be green and blue then.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's green and blue.
The bounceability is very bluish. I mean, there's some white that does it. But,
it's a dragon.
And then the counters are definitely
blue and green.
Yeah,
so it's an elder dragon. I believe it's that blue and green elder dragon. I could probably pull up a picture real quick of it. But anyways, they're both really happy with their deck, the way their decks play out. Dustin's deck is pretty savage. Caden's deck, we got to play test it again because we did a big edit to really flush out any of the junk that she just threw in there because she liked it. She was like, oh, this looks fun. Oh, this looks fun. I was like, well, you can eventually see that like some of these cards, they just don't fit with what you're doing. You're trying to do.
That's my biggest problem I have with Daniel's decks because he's still grasping, the mechanics of the cards. So like he'll be like, well, I want to do, like a Monster High theme. And so then, me and him are going through the decks or the cards together and he's just looking at pictures and I'm like going through the cards he's picking and I'm just like, no, yes, no, yes. And it's like for what, it's a growing process, so it's, I mean, the important thing is he has fun playing, and that's where it starts. But some of his decks definitely lack in power because of the way he wants to kind of theme it, which is fine, but when he's, you know, loses 5 games in a row between me and Kirian, it's like, well, not much I can do, and you're more focused on the pitchers than what the cards does, and I I I read the text.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, so that's what I'm teaching my kids right now is that you want to flush out a combo that works that you can utilize over and over again.
No,
I was like, and then once you've flushed out that combo, you'll be happy with it.
no.
So Kaden, what we added to her deck was she had picked the mirror creatures. She was like, "Oh, I really like the mirror creature idea.
Oh
How
yeah,
many of them are these?" I was like, "Well, there's enough to make a deck." I was like, "But we don't have enough right now." I said, "So." I was like, we'll take this other creature type that's an artifact creature as well called the Arcbounds. So like Arcbound Mirror, Arcbound Scavenger, Arcbound Ravager, Arcbound Crusher, all those cards, they have the ability modular, is where when they die, move their 1/1 counters to another artifact creature. So that's right up with what Caden's doing because her deck's goal is to pump a creature, get a bunch of tokens on the field, find her Dragon Throne, and turn all her creatures into whatever her biggest creature is and attack with everybody. That's her concept. That's her deck I'm giving her to go with right now. So it's got a win style. It's pretty straightforward and it's easy for her to remember. So that's what
Yep.
I'm super happy about for her. Dustin, on the other hand, we went a little more complicated with him. I made sure his deck was a little more thought processing. Like
What she needs. Yeah.
he's got to focus on early game getting a couple creatures with 1/1 counters out and going, and not worrying about his commander, and then late game pumping out his commander a bunch of times and stuff per turn.
Yep.
And if we can get his deck more centered towards that, I think we'll do good. He needs more mana rocks in his deck. I think that's like the only thing he needs, and probably like a few more spells that say return target permanent to its owner's hand.
Or
Other,
just strictly just bounce abilities where he's it's
yeah,
not,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you don't even want it really going to his hand. You want it to just get exiled and then bounce back onto the battlefield so that way he can do it
That's a
for
good
free.
that's a good route too, but that's mainly white, and that doesn't really fit
That
with
is a lot of that is yeah. I
you know.
suppose that is more
So in
more
blue
right
and green,
than
it's
blue.
a little bit harder for the exile stuff to make sense for him. So that's why I was like, bounce it to your hand so you can just cast it real fast. But
Yeah,
yeah, the exile until end of combat or end of turn phase or
yeah. No,
whatever,
you're right though.
those make sense.
You're right though. That is a lot more of the white than the blue. So yeah, you're not really gonna be able to pull that out.
No. And so yeah, I was just going with that. But hey, while we're talking about games and stuff, and we're focused on games, let's go ahead and talk about this page right here. Let's see if I can get it to work. So these are going to just we're going to look at the top 35 games that are coming out in 2023, starting with Alan Awake. Fans almost gave up hope for a sequel after a decade, but the success of Control finally gave Remedy the push it needed. The studio purchased the rights to the franchise from Microsoft and is partnering with Epic Games for publishing. Okay. So I don't really remember the first one of this. Do you remember this one at
Of
all?
what? Say it again. Give it to me again.
Alan Wake 2? Alan
Alan
Wake
Wake.
1?
Alan Wake was really cool. Hold on real quick. Let me just get myself a refresher there because I want to say that this was. Give me a couple. Research shows nostalgia can help.
You're okay, puppy dog.
So yeah, Alan Wake, if I remember correctly, it was kind of it was a horror like kind of thriller game, and it was based off of like a novel. So it was very
Okay.
it was kind of like Resident Evil when it first kind of came out, where it leans a lot more on the surprising and just catching you off guard and scaring you more than like the gunfat battles and like killing the bad guys. So it's very much just kind of get your blood flowing kind of a game, if I remember
Okay.
correctly.
All right.
It was a really good game. I want to say it came out for like the PS3. I could be wrong. Um,
Yeah,
maybe PS2. It might have been
we're
older.
talking a decade, so that's
Yeah,
PS3 time period.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but I mean, it was a really well put together game, and it was definitely separated itself from your average gameplay of just the kind of blueprint that everybody follows. It definitely made its own space. I think the best way I can say it.
All right. Let's hit the next game on the roster. Armored Core 6. Now, this is a game I would be a little more enthusiastic, I think, about than you because
Yep.
I was all into Armored Core 4, Armored Core 4 Answer, and Armored Core 5. So this is just like right up my alley. But there was some things that in the preview that I originally saw, they had made a few changes on where the storyline sits and what the Armored Cores are, what the whole everything is going through. It's going through an evolution phase, and it's kind of cool what they were showing and stuff in the video plot. So, but the tab says Mecha fans screamed with delight when Armored Core 6 was announced at the Game Awards. From software shows again that it's a risk taker, and this game is pretty much as far as its mega hit Elden Ring as you can get. Okay, so that's what they're contriving it to.
Yeah, I know nothing about this. This is definitely your
Yep.
ballpark, not mine. I
Yep.
mean,
So this is
this
like
picture
a
looks super like it makes me want to know more about the game. I mean,
yeah.
it's. I
So
mean,
it definitely has a one versus one robot battle mode.
okay,
But back on Xbox 360, they had this game called Armored Core 4 Answer. And you could like paint your robots to look like Optimus Prime, or you could paint your robots to look like a Power Rangers robot or
that's
whatever.
what I would expect. Yep.
And then you could all you got a whole bunch of different armaments and stuff, and you could swap out body parts and stuff. So it took off. It was really
Okay.
popular. Like Armored Core picked up, but then after Armored Core 5, like people didn't like some of the ways that the system software went and stuff with it, and like they weren't impressed, and they were expecting much better, and so the fandom didn't really pick off too much. Only the diehards really stayed for that game. But I think like the at the peak of it, 4 Answer was the best of it. So, and they were bringing up and talking about 4 Answer in this preview that I had originally saw. So that it's a pretty sweet game. So Mecha and save the world type of thing. Next, Assassin's Creed Mirage.
I mean, you can't go wrong with Assassin's Creeds. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, you can go out. You can go back to Black Flag to what they've done with the Greek
Yeah.
mythology, what they've done with the Norse mythology. It's the Assassin's Creed has made their blueprint, and they're going to keep pushing out good
Oh
games.
yeah, yeah.
So
My
this is
son
going to be
loves Assassin's
yeah.
Creed.
I mean, it gets
So
for me. It gets there's so much of the same that it does get really repetitive, and I struggle at finishing out all of the side quests when I play it. But it's I mean the graphics are always beautiful. The storyline's always fun, and I mean they put a lot of damn time into these games. They always turn out amazing.
I always wanted to have the most experience in the game so I could unlock the cool clothes and the dyes and stuff. So I always did all the side quests as soon as they unlocked in every region. I was just like, oh, more side quests. Hurry up, run and do those, forget the main quest and then, do like 5 or 6 main quest missions and then go back to side questing when you get to that new map. Um so that's how I always played Assassin's Creed. I was more the meta style, get your experience first gamer. Let's see. Oh, that's a commercial. Atomic Heart.
No,
All
nothing
right.
of this.
Atomic Heart looks pretty good despite having nothing to do with the hit 1994 J pop album by Mr. Children. It's set in the bleak alternative Soviet Union full of paranoid androids and is reminiscent of Bioshock. Hopefully, reports of a tumultuous development are exaggerated, but it'll likely be a wild ride just for the visuals alone. I don't know
Yeah,
much about this either, but that looks wild what they got going
it
on in there.
does.
Like they are not like tearing that zombie apart.
Or
Just
just
with
like the
their
paper and stuff in the background floating around. I mean, yeah, this does look like it could be a very visually pleasing video game in itself. Let alone who knows what to do with the storyline.
yeah, it looks like it also VR adapts.
That'd be cool. That's
So
bringing an extra
it,
element.
it it's got that kind of like that's
It
something I've
does.
been looking at with games too lately is like what's going to VR adapt and everything. And this game because it has that arm out in front like that showing you using your powers or whatever that screams VR adapt. So
Yep.
I'm excited for that. That's cool. We can get on to the next one. The
Ooh.
Avatar movie series is getting a video game, Frontiers of Pandora.
I hope they do good with this. I mean, this is one of those. You know how scary it is when they make video games based off movies and it pushes out fast. This could
Yeah.
either be a really good game or it could be complete garbage. I mean, I
Well, it
don't
better be
think
good.
there's.
It's got
I don't.
6 years of development.
Well, then they better have done it justice because you know how I mean lately they've done a lot better with movies, games based off movies, but I mean we saw a very big era of time where they just pushed it out to follow the hype and it was just garbage and I think they learned their lesson. So hopefully this is a good one.
Yep. I mean, so
I would
far they're just
love
showing like they're not showing too much new except for this creature's wings look different than others before
I,
it.
I hope the flying mechanic is on point. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
hope it's all there. Yep,
I
I'm
hope I
100%
look
with you.
forward to I look forward to seeing more. I hope that they did good. If they did a good job with this, I would gladly put hours into this. Just sidetracking. I think I just broke like 80 hours on Hogwarts Legacy. So I've been still
Woohoo!
steadily going strong and having fun with that one. It's been well worth my money on that game.
Sweet. All right, let's get to the next game because
Yes,
there's
sir.
30 of them. All right, this is Company of Heroes 3. I wasn't too big of a Company of Heroes fan. I'm not gonna dog on it. It was the gameplay's stupid linear. You know what I mean? It's like go here, do this, punch this here. It's not really much of a open sandbox type of thing. It's all
No,
pre-programmed.
this is more of a real time strategy, isn't it?
Kind of real time strategy, kind of just like
I
what is it? Um, Replaying events more so. Just what would happen if you aimed the cannon a little bit further to the right? That's about all you can do in this game from like a real activity handpoint is how it goes. So the players to Italy and North Africa during World War II. So that's what you're doing. You're just playing out
Yeah,
um,
massive single player
skirmishes.
experience.
Yep.
Time loop.
So we
Okay,
can
yeah.
move on.
No, yeah. So I mean, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I kind of like those real time strategy games. I'm a huge Halo Wars
Yeah, I like
player.
Halo Wars and
I love StarCraft and
Age of
Warcraft.
Empires.
I mean, so I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see. I don't know if that one will make my list, but I mean, I do enjoy those game styles.
So
All
this
right,
one might
Dead
make
Island
mine
2, huh?
is
I mean,
yeah.
the first one was a lot of fun. I felt like they spent a lot of time on the graphics on the first time, and they didn't go as deep as they could have into the gameplay and what you're able to do. But it was a great game.
Yeah,
So
the first one and so the this specific one's been in it's been in retro for a decade and it's been passed through three different studios, but it's got a release date for this April. So
we'll
when I
see.
played Dead Island 1, I got the Riptide edition or whatever. And that game
Yep,
was fantastic, dude. It was amazing. No issues here. I liked it. It was different than
in a good
other
way.
zombie games. There was like only one other zombie game that's closely compared to it. And
Well,
I
Dead
can't
Rising,
even
I think, was a good one. That might be what you're thinking about. Dead Rising, when you were stuck in the
the mall.
mall. Yeah,
That one was okay, but that's not the one I'm talking about. No, the one I'm talking about came out on 360. and it was a
Oh,
zombie game, but it was like
that
open world.
open world. There was Dead or Alive 2. I can't think of what other ones, but either way, yeah, Dead Island. I mean, the
That
first
was
one,
a good game,
it
so
was it
this
was a
one's gonna
good.
be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they got enough followers on the first one that hopefully they really capitalized and just took it to the next level with this one. This one will get my attention.
I hope so too. All right, next, Dead Space remake. Reviews were putting all the sci-fi horror eggs in Dead Space remakes basket. The developers had hinted that a few changes are coming to make the game more expansive and eliminate loading times, sure to make this iconic classic even better. I mean, playing Dead Space with no loading screens would be amazing.
Yeah,
That's all I have to say. I'm done with it there. We can.
I mean, my biggest concern, I guess, would be. I mean, usually they do remakes to see if there's still an audience before they go into making a new game, and so
Mhm.
my worry would be if they're charging the full 60, did they do enough to make it its own game versus just a remake? That's what always concerns me when they put the word remake there. It always
Yeah,
makes me just a tad nervous because I'm just like,
it does.
okay, what did you do? I mean,
Yeah,
how much of the old programming are you using, and how much new did you add to it to bring it up to time and date?
it looks like they added some layers.
And I'm not gonna disagree with you at all there, but
You know.
that's just that word always scares me when it comes to
Oh
games.
yeah. No, I totally
It,
get it. But for them to hint at no loading screens or
yep,
less
yep,
loading screens,
yep, that's
that
big.
right there just
That,
automatically makes the
yep,
game that much better, in
absolutely,
my opinion. So
absolutely.
um, for the playability for newer stuff, because right now I'm playing a game called Legend of Dragoon from PlayStation 1 on the PS4, and wow, is that forever a slow game. Like, there's no speed up button or anything that you can push. It's just slow. So I've been I've been playing that game. It's all right. Uh,
Let's keep it pushing.
Here we go. Oh, we gotta go over to the other tab. Commercial. All right. Destiny 2
Destiny 2
Lightfall.
Lightfall. I know this is right up your alley. Go ahead with it.
So I played a good 6 years of Destiny. Um, Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. Good 6 years of that game. That was the only game I played for those 6 years too. Like I was like, I didn't want to hear anything about any other game. I was just like, no, have you played Destiny? And then everybody would be like, I'm just gonna shut up and leave you alone. So yeah, me and Destiny. Humans on Neptune, where they'll go head to head against the Shadow Legion for the first time. It's the dawn of a new chapter of Destiny's 2 story, and a great time to get in or come back to the game. That's interesting. I've come back to the game a couple times and checked things out and seen what's different and stuff throughout. And they don't change a whole lot in Destiny
Yeah,
anymore
I mean, I
because
went I went nuts on the first one. I mean, and with you, the second one, I felt like it dropped so close behind when I was kind of done with the first one that I really never gave it a chance. So I didn't, I didn't put the time and effort into two like you did. But I mean, number one was beautiful and amazing. I felt like the
mhm,
mechanics for loot hunting was great. I mean, there was a lot of value in just rerunning stuff to get your loot up, and I mean, even just the multiplayer. I mean, I had tons of fun of playing with you and on my own. So I
yeah.
mean, I'm not
So
opposed to Destiny 2 at all. Or I mean, I'm guessing this is just a DLC or an expansion to
yeah, so
Destiny
what
2.
this is probably the 6 month expansion pack, I think,
Oh,
because around September they do a 1 year expansion
no.
every year. Every year Destiny 2 gets a 1 year expansion. Until either this year or next year, because Destiny 3 is coming out as well. So that's something also to think about. You're going to continue to invest because everything from Destiny 1 and 2 are now going to carry you into 3. So keep that in mind because that's how it ended. When you beat Destiny 1, Destiny 2 came out and you picked right up at the end of Destiny 1 where Destiny 2 starts. And then in Destiny 2, the whole storyline just continues to evolve. And I feel like every year you're buying, it feels like you buy a new game. $60 and you're spending like you're getting the content download worth. It's pretty much what it is though. They're giving you 30 gigs, 40 gigs of content to download. So it's not too bad.
Give me a second. I'm in a mission here.
Uh-oh. All right, so we'll switch to the next tab. I know you'll want to talk about this.
All right. Well, so funny story. The reason I had to mute myself real quick and pause is my goddaughter just got home from work and she was jumping on the game. She started to load up Fortnite. And as I was telling you, I don't know how long I'm going to be on the show here with you tonight because I just pre-ordered my copy of Diablo 4 because right now this weekend they have the beta tester going on for anybody that has pre-ordered their copy. So I pre-ordered my copy and right now Kiriana is actually loading it up, and we just started streaming on my Twitch page. So, yeah, I mean, Diablo, if you're a Diablo player, you're jumping with joy. You're excited. You're ready for this game to drop on June 6th, I think, is what it is. And I mean, yeah, let's go. It's Diablo. You're going to run around with, 3 of your friends. You're going to go nuts. You're going to beat the game. You're going to run the game 5 times over to keep looting and keep leveling up. I've been playing Diablo Mobile, which they did an amazing job with that game alone.
Was that one good?
It was, it's one of the best mobile games I've ever played for a console game where they kind of made a mobile version for you to have fun with. Phenomenal. I mean, I've played it on my phone when I'm out and about. I grabbed my tablet and I would play that when I was at home on the bigger screen like crazy. I mean, yeah.
I've got Diablo 3 at home. I've got Diablo 3 that I just never played. So that's why I'm just like.
Yep, I got mine. I got mine for the Xbox Series X because I don't have a PS5 yet. And yeah, I'm gonna go nuts. I can't wait. I mean, I'll be up tonight drinking energy drinks and nerd out until probably 3-4 in the morning.
All right. Yeah, well, we'll probably look in when you take off from here. We're looking on you over while you're playing for a little bit at least.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
I've got you pulled up on my phone already.
Happy Patty's Day. Take my shot of the evening here.
Whoop, whoop. Happy Patty's Day. All right. Ayuden Chronicles 100 Heroes. So this looks like a Final Fantasy Tactics type game. I get that vibe from the characters, just the background, what I'm seeing, and
I know nothing of this.
Yeah,
right away, the animation I like. That's definitely
there's a shark dude.
Yeah. Well, and then there's just like this weird little like bear whatever thing over
bear
here.
Bear goat thing over here. Yeah.
I mean this.
I'm digging it.
It's a JRPG series.
Yeah.
Cool. That 100 characters upgrade. Yeah. I mean this.
108 characters. Yep.
This looks cool. That's might be something worth just checking out. It's I like the animation. I like that, kind of animation where it's, it definitely does give you an old school Final Fantasy feel just looking at that picture.
Yeah. Right, that's what I'm feeling, like Final Fantasy 4, and then like just with new 3-dimensionalized character graphics.
Yep.
It looks really cool.
I do. I like it.
Oh,
speaking of the devil,
look at that.
This game is going to be amazing. I mean,
I'm excited for it.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, just look at the graphics.
So,
look at the graphics.
They're expecting it to follow the path that the game's original follows. So we're looking at the retelling of the Nibelheim incident and finding the girl. the girl ninja, um, Yuffie. I think isn't that her name, Yuffie or Yuffie,
Yeah.
something like that. Yuffie or Yuffie. You find her, the chick with the big boomerang
Yep.
weapons. But anyways, that's what you're gonna get in this game. Is what I'm expecting. Is
All right,
you'll get the Nimbleheim
the
story, which will be good. That'll be cool.
graphics look amazing. I mean, just look this.
Oh,
This
yeah,
just gorgeous. It's gonna be a beautiful game. It's
yeah. They mastered their graphics way back when they did that movie Advent Children.
yep, yep,
That was when they mastered their
yep.
graphics. They were like, "We're
Yep.
done.
I mean, I mean,
We've got
I
that."
mean, just what was it? 10 that came out that had that like underwater sport that you played throughout the.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Blitzball.
yes, yes. I mean, the graphics in that one. I mean, were so far ahead of any other game that was coming out then. I mean, yeah, Final Fantasies
Yeah.
puts their time and effort into the games, and they never fail their fans.
I don't feel like I get
No,
disappointed very much with Final
no,
Fantasy.
no, no. I mean, it's
They're,
either your cup of tea or it isn't. But I mean,
that
they
is
got
true.
they
Yeah.
got a huge fan base, and I mean, and now that they've veered away with the newer ones, away from the kind of real time strategy turn based stuff, it's just grabbed that many more people into it that was their one dislike. Because I made a fair amount of my friends that dislike that one part. So, and
Yep. So
here we
still
are.
on to Final Fantasy.
Yep.
Final
It's
Fantasy
16.
16 is looking to
Ooh.
return to the series' roots with a dark medieval fantasy motif. However, it will not be all muggles and chocobos this time. This might be the grittiest entry in the franchise, but will hopefully turn out for the best. So I like that. I definitely like what I'm seeing with it. The whole return to
It
an older age,
and it looks
because that's what I was
it
missing.
looks dark. I mean, it looks like behind them is just chaos and rays of a city.
Uh-huh.
It's just,
Well, I'd just be like, after Final Fantasy X, I was hoping they were going to go back and go back in time and stuff for a while, and they really didn't. They kept the whole theme of futures and
futuristic. Yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
And I was just like, oh man, it would be really cool if we could get some, another medieval style Final Fantasy type game
Yep.
where the dragons were the best creatures still and stuff like that. Anyways, this looks very promising. So I'm not going to delve too much into this because I don't know too much about the game yet. And every Final Fantasy is different story wise, linear wise. None of them really link up with each other except for there's a bunch for the Final Fantasy VII series. Like that's the only series that got like a bunch of offshoot games that all link up. Like even what is it that kids game with the keys and stuff, Hearts or whatever, the Disney one. Um, that's all tied into Final Fantasy VII and stuff too. Kingdom Hearts. There we go. Advertisement. Okay, a new Fire Emblem. What I don't like about this one is they're not giving us a. I can't hear you, Craig. No audio.
Yeah, my bad. I mean, yeah. I mean, the problem with this is this just looks like a poster head. There's nothing for you to go off
Yeah.
of what the gameplay is really going to look
Nope.
like.
Nothing at all. And
No,
I mean, I know what Fire Emblem pretty much is, and so this doesn't impress me at all. This is just the same old drawings.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
gotta see. Hope it's something. Hope it gets better. And here is what you were just talking about, Hogwarts Legacy.
Been having an absolute blast with the game. I actually kind of went on a drought of gaming for a while where I just couldn't get myself in anything, and this one was it wasn't. Oh, I mean, I just played it on normal. I didn't play it on hard, and it wasn't overly difficult or challenging. I mean, you definitely had to be on your P's and Q's, but it was just a fun game. They did a phenomenal job at just making this game fun to play. I can't say enough good things about it. The only thing I guess I really can say is that instead of this just jumping into and planning to make a second one, I wish that they would have spent some time to drop some DLC packets to make me jump back into this game in a couple of months. Because as of right now, I haven't heard anything about DLC packets. So that's my biggest letdown. But I mean, phenomenal game. If you're not already playing it, go play it. You don't even got to be a big Harry Potter fan. Just go play it. It's a beautiful game.
I'm not sure if it's out on my system yet or not, so I'll have to go see. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it as well. And let's move on to the next. Another Hollow Knight. I'm not even going to review
No.
this. I'm not a fan of Hollow Knight. It's just a 2D scroller. Homeworld 3. Have you played any of
No,
the
I
Homeworld
haven't.
things? Okay, I've heard good things about Homeworld. It's basically space mining kind of thing. Tower defense. It's up your alley with like Halo Wars and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's on the spectrum of like you go to different star systems and mine from their
Yeah. I mean,
asteroids and
it's an
stuff.
RTS, so it's a real time strategy
No.
series. That maybe I'll have to check it out. Or at least check out Homeworld
One of
2.
the
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm completely off my radar, but I love my
Hmm.
RTSs. I absolutely do. They're boring as hell to watch as somebody sitting next to you, while you're playing it, but I love it. It's for me, it's a video game chessboard. It's all strategy. I love it.
Yeah. All
Horizon,
right, so
Call of the Mountains. This is gonna be great.
okay, so this is VR.
I see this.
This is going to be PlayStation VR 2, so it's going to be on the PS5. And yeah, I'm expecting to see good things, hear good things, type of deal. I'm not sure. I've been playing on the Meta Quest, and I hope that maybe they'll license it out to Meta as well.
Ooh, God, that
Because
Horizon's a big number. I don't know if you're gonna get that one.
I know it's a big,
As much as you
it's a big
want it, man,
Sony number.
I don't think you're gonna get
I
that
know.
one. Not anytime soon.
Yeah.
Um,
Even if we get it like 3 months down the road or something,
but
that
Horizon,
would be cool.
Horizon was a beautiful game. Absolutely
Yeah.
gorgeous. I mean, and it was
Mhm.
huge. They didn't waste your time with that game. There was more
No,
than enough to keep you entertained, occupied. The story had tons of depth and kept. I mean,
I'm
at least
playing the new one right now.
yeah, yeah. Yep.
Yep, the new one's pretty good. All right, Kerbal Space Program 2. I played KSP 1, and it's fun. Okay, it's fun, but it can become repetitive or boring after a while. You basically just go into creative mode and can create rockets and blast them off into space, and
That's
you see how far you can blast them.
that's what
That's pretty
that's what
much
I
it.
get out of the picture. So yeah, I'm glad that the picture does it justice. That's exactly kind of what I assumed it was.
Yeah, that's exactly and what it is the picture doesn't lie to you either. That's really you can go build that, all of that. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's all there is to it.
Well, yeah,
They
it
said
looks
this
like
one's going to have an update,
colonizing.
multiplayer, and better graphics system.
All right.
And do what?
Well, I was just kind of reading it. You need to get the colonized planets is what it looks like.
Mm,
The
that's
large scale
definitely a new
colonies.
addition. Yeah, that's a new addition to the game,
Yep. Well,
I believe. So hey, that's worth taking a look at. This is one that I've been thinking that when I was looking through this, I was like, wow, this is going to be cool. And so this one is a dark story about Pinocchio. So it's called Lies of P. Now, what I get, the vibe I get right away from the big saw he's wielding, is right away I get Devil May Cry crossed with Final Fantasy VII type vibes. Like it's a
see
prop
that.
weapon from Final Fantasy, but
I mean,
it could be used
this image.
deadly. Like
Yeah, this image gives you a very kind of mysterious, Sherlock Holmes,
yeah,
meets, Devil May Cry kind of a thing. Yeah, I'll be checking out some trailers on this.
yeah,
This is another one that's off my radar, but I mean the pictures, they did a good. This is a good picture for it. It sells it a little bit to me.
yeah. So who'd have thought a Souls-like based on Pinocchio could be so intriguing? Liza P has you taking the role of Pinocchio as he tries to find Geppetto. The trick here is that you have to lie to others if you want to become human. How you lie will affect the game and determine your ultimate fate.
I,
That's
I love it when games do stuff
that
like that.
adds
It makes you
that's
feel
so
like you
much.
got good replay value out of the game. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
let's go.
yeah.
I
Was
love it.
Fable had
Oh,
that. You could be good, medium, or evil.
Fable
You
was,
know, like,
yeah, one of a kind.
and they, yep. All right. Like a dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name will cover what happened to Kazuma Kiryu between
Ooh,
Yakuza 6. Oh,
ooh,
so it's a
yeah,
Yakuza game. All
yep.
right. So that makes more sense because then we go to Like a Dragon Ishin, and this one is also related to the last one. So they've got two games coming out company related to the Yakuza line. So that's pretty cool. I'm not mad about that. Edo period spinoff would get an English release, but here it is. Ishin is getting a complete remake and will feature enhanced graphics. Okay, so that's this one's the remake. And then Like a Dragon will talk about the
Man.
time period between those two and what he's up to.
Oof.
Oh, that's gonna be cool. I like it. I like that kind of like drama filled game.
Ooh, here we
All
go.
right, next
Lords
game.
of the Fallen.
Not to be confused with its predecessor, Lords of the Fallen, was an unexpected announcement as the original game didn't get the best reviews. However, with the success of Elden Rings, Souls Fever is in full swing. So we'll take whatever we can go get to tide us over until From Software drops DLC or a new game. Okay, so this is going to be like a Soul Dark Souls is what they're saying this game compares to in play style and stuff. Now I haven't done a whole lot of playing of Dark Souls, but my brother Steve is just infatuated with that
Yeah,
game.
I got a
So,
couple of hardcore gamers that absolutely love Dark Souls. I didn't dig into it deep either. But I mean,
no, it wasn't
Elden Ring was an amazing game. Uh,
okay.
so yeah, no, this one could be another one that could really catch some people off guard that whose radar it's off, but give it a try. And I mean, the people who are knowing what to expect, I think they're gonna like it.
All right, cool. Um,
Haha, let's go,
Marvel Spider-Man
let's
2
go.
is set to eclipse the original just because it features Venom. Not a ton has been revealed about the game yet, but we're hoping Spider-Man gets to play with the symbiote a bit. Maybe we'll see a team up against Carnage. So, I mean, that's the one thing that has been missing from Spider-Man games in the past is a really good Venom.
Um,
Uh,
I mean,
like,
as of recently, I mean, they dropped. You got to mess around with Venom and one of the other ones that they did a pretty decent job. What I would really like to see, and I mean, I'm sure they didn't do it. I don't think they're going to. But I mean, whenever you're bringing in Peter Parker and Miles Morales, which is what this looks like here, the only thing I that kind of comes to my mind is give me a split screen option to play this with my girlfriend and let her web sling around with me, and we can just have some fun messing around in the streets, kicking bad guys' butts. And I don't feel like it's far fetched when you have two Spider Mans in the same universe working together. There's no reason to not add that
yep,
feature and just give the game that much more depth and that much more fun. I mean, we need more games that have that sit on the couch together and play the game together. I'm so sick of being forced to play with people online and not, get together and just play a split screen game.
yep.
It's not
That's
it's
why,
not going to happen, but I mean, nonetheless, it's Spider-Man. I have never in my
yeah,
life played
yeah.
a Spider-Man game that I didn't like.
Yeah, I've liked a lot of the Spider-Man games as they come out and everything. And as I look back on them now, I go, "Wow, those were cheesy." But I go, when they came out, they were
Mhm,
amazing. They're
mhm. Yep,
nonstop amazing.
yep,
So, yeah,
yep.
totally agree with you. There was never a Spider-Man game that I didn't like. All right, Octopath Traveler 2. This is another JRPG, I
Yep,
believe.
yep, that's exactly what it looks like.
So I'm
We,
not big on them.
no, I don't know anything about that one, so yeah, let's keep it.
Pragmata. When its trailer premiered 2 years ago, viewers swore it had to be something from Kojima and were surprised to see it was a Capcom title. Unfortunately, aside from a 2023 release window, we've got no new info about the game. Nevertheless, the mystery alone makes it one of the year's most anticipated titles. Hopefully, it's not terrible. Well, that's an interesting review. Now, what I'm getting from this though is whoever is programming this game isn't cutting us short on the reality of whatever they're putting
I
us
mean,
through.
to me, it just looks like. I mean, it looks like a futuristic astronaut walking around mainstream New York.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's
But I'm just looking deeper in at the graphics. Like I'm looking at the actual page, and I'm looking at this taxi cab and the reflections off the
it looks
taxi.
beautiful. Are you kidding? Yeah,
Oh
it
yeah,
looks absolutely gorgeous.
I'm looking at all this. So I'm thinking, man, that's definitely going to be on my list of games to check out and see what it's about. So
Yep.
Pragmata. Yep. So cool. Resident Evil 4 remake.
That's
Pass.
that's dropping. I want to say that's the end of this month. I think. And I mean, Resident Evil is Resident Evil. It's kind of the same for me. Resident Evil is kind of like Final Fantasy. They have an audience that they have built up
Oh yeah.
that
Yeah,
are gonna follow them to the end of days, and then there's other people
definitely.
that just don't care. You know,
Me.
you know, I mean, when they, what was it, Resident Evil 5 when they started really doing a lot of the co-op stuff with it, kind of gave it a new element to me where you could have a lot of fun playing it with a friend.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Resident Evil. I mean, we've seen so much of it between the video games, the TV shows, etc. That it's you're either on board or you're not. There's not much gray area there. I don't feel like.
Yeah. Now I played it when I was younger and stuff. Don't get me wrong. It was a game to play when it was out on PlayStation 1 and 2, but then when PlayStation 3 came out, I was just not interested. All right, next game. Stalker 2. Games give a unique survival experience set in an anomaly-filled wasteland. These games had their flaws, but are still very playable. Unfortunately, Stalker 2 has had a tumultuous development cycle. It was canceled in 2011, revived in 2018. So yeah, it's just had this game's gonna be It's got fuzzy graphics. Can't really make out what's going on in the background. Is that a cooling
Is that
tower?
a nuclear plant or is that just
Yeah,
a soccer
that's
arena?
exactly that's what I'm saying, man. I can't make out what's going on here, so I don't know.
Yeah,
This one gets a no from me.
yeah. Somebody's gonna have to bring it up to me and tell me that it's good for me to care. Skull and Bones.
Hey, this one might get a yes from me.
I,
It's been in development for so long that most of us have turned into skeletons waiting for it. It's a very real chance this game will be a disaster. Yay, this is my type of game. But it could be a surprise hit if it can capture the fun of Assassin's Creed's Black Flame naval battles.
which
So
is
that's
exactly what I was bringing up earlier. I mean, when Assassin's Creed's kind of added that element of the being out on the pirate ships and duking it out in the middle of the sea, like that was a ton of fun to me, and it gave a whole different element to Assassin's Creed, which was already amazing. Yeah, I mean, the
yeah,
graphics again. These kind of mediocre graphics where it's a little bit simpler but a lot of details. I love this. I love this animation.
mhm,
I
yeah.
mean, just seeing them
I'm
load
totally
those
for it.
cannons and getting ready to shoot them. I mean, yeah. This is this
Just the excitement I got reading that review. Just
I will
well,
look more into this one, and I mean this one might get purchased. I mean, even if I wait a little bit until after release and catch it, when it drops a little, or buy a used copy at GameStop, but this I'm not. Yeah, I like it.
I'll keep an eye on it too.
I like this. I mean, the water's a big thing, and the water looked good.
And the kid who bites.
Let's go.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor. joins Cal 5 years after the original game. So 5 years later, events. The galaxy has gotten even darker, and he'll have to be on his toes to stay alive. He also gets a cool new Kylo Ren style lightsaber, which is neat.
Which I
Okay.
think you still got my. I think you still have my original
Yeah, I
copy of
still have
this.
your copy.
Yep.
So I haven't fully played through it. I just still haven't had found like time to sit down and focus.
I mean, my
on a game like that.
my
You
problem.
gotta focus.
Yeah, my problem. My the problem I had with the game when I originally got it was it felt very set pathy, which kind of brings me back 8 years. I mean, nowadays, I mean,
Mhm.
you know, everything's kind of gotten to an open world aspect where you can kind of venture around and do your own thing and have your fun with it.
Right.
Not that I'm against set paths by any means, but you feel like you have such little control that you really got to push yourself
It
into
cuts
it.
your replay value way down.
It does. It does.
That's one of the things about it that
But
really bugs
I
me.
mean, me and you are both huge Star Wars fans, so I mean,
Yep.
that alone, is gonna get my attention. I'm gonna check it out.
Oh yeah. Just being able to control somebody with a lightsaber just
Yep,
makes me happy.
yep. Let me
That's
lift
that's
somebody up
gameplay
and
value.
throw them off to the wall and let them
Yeah,
smack it. So
So
no,
the gameplay value
yeah. I mean,
automatically wins, but
yep.
the linearness of it, yeah, it ruins that replay value. I mean, the Force Awakens or whatever, those games, those are not the Force Awakens, but the Force Unleashed.
Mm-hmm.
Those games, they felt the same way to me. They felt very linear. You only had one path.
And
You had
I
to
mean,
run
and
through
it was
that
a lot
path.
of fun. I played the heck out of it. I kicked its butt,
You did,
but
but
once
you're
you're
totally
done,
right.
you're done.
That was
I
10
mean,
years ago,
yeah,
too.
exactly. I mean, whenever I think
Yep.
about the Unleashed, I think about I want to say it was the first one. And you're sitting there on like this balcony pulling like the battle cruiser into the ground, and I mean, you had to sit there and just sit there. You're sitting there for like 30 minutes. I felt like just like pulling this thing to the ground, like fighting to get it to crash. But I mean, it was
Well, you're dodging TIE
yeah, yeah,
fighters
yeah,
and
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
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 I know
yeah,
what you're
yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's Star Wars. We're gonna check it out. Who doesn't want to swing a
Yeah.
lightsaber around and kill somebody? Starfield comes out this September, I believe. Let's go. I mean, we're talking about another Bethesda game. They've been putting Elder Rings off to the side, pushing this thing out. We're looking at. I mean, I feel like this is I mean, this is this is gonna re-
I'm getting
this is gonna.
I'm getting some Destiny game vibes here.
It's. I mean, it's kind of got it's Bethesda, so you're gonna have that adventurous feel storyline of Elden Rings, but it's you know what I mean they've I don't know the number. I want to throw a big number out there and kind of freak people out, but I mean there is they have made a ton of different planets for this game that you get to go fly around in outer space and explore and do your thing. You're gonna kind of have a fighting style. I feel like from the original Fallout games is kind of what I think that your gunfights are gonna be. If you're gonna compare it to something, dude, I don't know. Me and Brandon have been at work talking a lot about this game, anticipating it. I'm I hope that it lives up to the hype. I mean, but I'm a huge Bethesda fan.
Mhm.
I love the medieval feel of
I'm getting like
Elder Scrolls. Um,
I'm getting that Elder Scrolls meets No Man's Sky
and that's I
crossover.
think that it's really gonna give you that feel. I think that this one will be up your alley. I think you're gonna like this one a lot. We'll be on the phone talking while playing this one, having some fun with it.
All right. I'll be looking into it and
It's
seeing if I can get it on my system. Uh,
yeah, it's
so yeah,
oh November 11th. There it is right there. I wasn't even looking at
November 11th. That's
the
a big
article.
pushback.
Yeah, I mean
No, that was a 22. They said they don't know when 2023's release
oh
date
yeah,
is
no,
going to be.
okay, so I'm sorry. Yeah, 2023's I want to say it's this September is what they have down for right now.
Ooh.
It's winter time. It's September, November. They're pushing it out right before Christmas. Makes sense. You know what I mean? All right. There's gonna be a lot. I'm jumping right into this one. There's gonna be a lot of mixed feelings about this one because I originally had a lot of mixed feelings about this one. And when I first saw that Street Fighter was bringing out another game, my immediate reaction is it's gonna do one of two things. It's gonna blow up or it's gonna completely flop, and they're never gonna make another one. But after nerding out with another coworker talking about it, um, you're supposed to be able to create your own character in this thing. There's going to be a campaign, and I think that feature alone, if they did it right, is going to go a long ways for this franchise and for this game to really blow up. I went from being mediocre about my excitement of this game to being really really geeked out, and it's coming out soon. It's not far from around the corner.
So I've always wanted them to evolve this game into something new because, okay, they tried to evolve Mortal Kombat and they did one game back on the PS2 that kind of worked.
Armageddon.
Yeah, it kind of worked. But I think now with the software that we can push now, I think we could definitely evolve this game to a more linear style play game at least. And then when you encounter a battle mode, you go into regular old Street Fighter mode again. But you
Yeah,
could also have a linear play mode too.
yeah. No, this is
So
dude. This one's I mean. Look at just look at the title. We're talking about. I mean, Street Fighter has been out for how many years, and we're only getting Street Fighter 6. I mean, that's enough to tell you that they've struggled for a little while.
mhm.
But I'm really hoping that they took the time and effort to make this thing right because I think it could be a really good comeback for them. And I think a lot of it's going to come down to the the campaign mode that they did and the customization of you being able to design your own fighter for the
Yeah.
universe when you're playing. I think if they nailed that one, I think they got a really good thing going here. I mean, for
Like
me, my girl won't play many video games with me, but the fighting games she will. I mean, me and her played tons of Tekken and Soul Calibur, so this would be a fun one to add to the batch, and I won't have an upper hand on her as much on it, so maybe she'll get a chance to get a couple wins in against me. But I'm genuinely excited for this one. And at first I wasn't as hyped, but the more I learned about what they're bringing, the more enthusiastic I definitely got about
all
this.
right. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing what becomes of it then because like I said, I've just been wanting them to take the Street Fighter characters and evolve them into a different game.
I mean, when can we? How many more years do you think it'll take for all of the big mainstream fighting games to just collaborate and have a massive tournament? Where's the Mortal Kombat v Street Fighter v Tekken v Soul Calibur game? Like let's just throw them all together and say fuck it. Let's see how it plays out and just let you know what I mean. Let the
yeah.
fans just blow up. Like
Yep.
let's.
That would be total epicness. All right,
But
let's see what's next on the list. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. All right, forgive me for the title, but that's what it says. This is yet another game that has taken more than a decade to come to fruition. It was in development after the release of Batman Arkham Origins in 2013, but ended up being canceled at some point between then and 2016. Fortunately, that decision was reversed, and Rocksteady is continuing the Batman Arkhamverse with this title. Okay. Well, at least it gives them a jumping off point so they don't have to rescuff anything.
I
Oh,
I
excuse
think
me.
I think that this is gonna be a big hit or miss. I think it's either gonna be or it might that or it might just be something that's really gonna appeal to a selective group of people, maybe.
Hmm.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't. This one's totally off my radar. This is the first time I'm hearing it. I think it has potential of being phenomenal. It's just it's hard to say what direction they took with it. The Batman Arkham Origins, I guess
That's a
I'm
more
curious.
gritty. That's
It,
it's more gritty there, and that's why I'm just like, ooh, it
yeah,
could be good. It
it
really could
could be.
be.
I hope. I mean, with it being off and on development throughout 9 years. Um, let,
That's
let's see. Who know? I mean, I really high hopes, low expectations. I guess is kind of where I stand.
yep.
Ha, this comes out. This comes out in 2 months, and this is going to. This has very high odds of being game of the year. It's that simple. Any Legends of Zelda player knows, especially if you played Breath of the Wild, you know what you're expecting from this game, and it's shitting on everything that's dropped this year. Um,
Yeah.
I, I, it, I
Yeah.
mean, the only two games that I think that I could even put close to it, and I still don't think they hold a damn chance to it, would be Hogwarts Legacy or Starfield. I think those two games will be good runner-ups to this game. Zelda's been around too long and has stood way too strong,
Oh,
especially with Breath of the Wilds, for this one to not be absolutely amazing. If you're buying one game this year and you own a Nintendo Switch, if this isn't the one game that you buy, you should sell your Nintendo Switch. Like, there's just no getting around it. This is going to be so beautiful.
yeah. So somebody else can download the game and break their Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's got a warning right here in the article that this game might overdo it on the Switch, meaning you might have to wait to get the new Switch, that Switch 2 that's going to be coming out. They haven't released any dates on it yet. All right.
All right.
Last
Hold on.
game.
Hold.
Um,
All right. No, let me
hold
and you can go. She can wait.
up. This is the last game. The Wolf Among Us 2.
I know nothing of it.
I'm not in, I'm not infatuated by it either.
I don't like. I
5
don't
years
like the
after its
animation.
initial launch window. No, I'm not a Crayola fan either. Finally hits consoles and PC. It's been a long road for this game, and it's been completely rebooted at least once. Here's hoping the wait is worth it. Well, I'm done with that article. That's where I'm going with that game. I'm done with that article. All right. Yeah, I mean that's it. Just that was a good long video game review we just
Hey,
went through
those. I
there.
mean, there was. I mean, I'll probably be jumping back on our stream and rewatching our stream to catch some of those titles that were completely off of my radar. That did spark my interest, for sure.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I mean, all in all, I mean, between, I mean, Resident Evil, I'm probably not gonna get, even though it's one of the bigger names. Let's be honest. Street Fighter, that's coming out. Want to say within the next month. I think it's coming out pretty soon. That one I'll probably be getting just because I'm very curious, and I know even if I don't enjoy it for solo play for myself or campaign, it's just a new fighting game for me to play with the old lady. Um, uh, Legend of Zelda. That's gonna steal most of my summer, which is a good thing because there's not much else coming out this summer. So I'll have
Yeah, I might
I'll have for 4 to 5 months to just jump on it when I can, when I'm not outside enjoying the good weather.
get it for the road
Yep,
trip.
yeah, absolutely for you, absolutely. Starfield, it's gonna come out at the right time. It's gonna start getting colder. Us Minnesotians are gonna be getting ready to buckle
Didn't
in
you?
and hibernate. And that one, I really hope that one holds up to the hype. And like I said, I love Bethesda. I've been an Elder Scrolls player since Elder Scrolls 3 on the PC. Um, let's go. Let's. I really hope you guys bring it, and I think they did. I'm this one's
Yeah, I'm hoping.
this one's been on my radar for well over 2 years. I'm ready for it to release.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see what I can dig up about some more Final Fantasy 16 previews
Mm-hmm.
because that's a big thing for me.
Yes.
I really like that system. That I've just always been Final Fantasy, so like
Yep.
everybody else playing other things like James Bond, I was like, no, check this Final Fantasy game out.
See,
People are like, no.
for me, what always held me back from the Final Fantasy series is when it came to turn based. I'm old school, dude. Give me some Nintendo Pokemon, and I'm that's really my turn based game.
Mm-hmm.
When
Yep,
they
I hear you.
switched it from the turn based to kind of like a live action fighting game, when you got into some of your combats, that really turned the table for me. That I was definitely okay with that change for the game.
What they did that in 14 or 15?
I
Like,
want to say that was 15. I could be wrong.
okay.
I'm like I said, I'm not the biggest Final
Yeah.
Fantasy guru, but I want to say it was 15. And I watched Brandon and Brian just go nuts on the game when I'd go over there to hang out with them, and it definitely it intrigued me enough to be like, all right, okay, let's go.
Yep. I thought that was an interesting mechanic when they added that live action time scale that you're talking about. I thought that was definitely an interesting mechanic that they added because
I think
that was the only thing they had refused for so long to change about their game. They're like, that's what makes Final Fantasy Final
I
Fantasy
think that they
is the turn
finally
based.
realized they just had to change. I think that they were losing, followers to where they just like we have to finally make the change with the time. But I think that they did it in such a phenomenal way that it
Oh
really
yeah,
just re-sparked the franchise for newer gamers that weren't playing Final Fantasy back in the '90s.
definitely not
And
right.
you know what I mean, and even the older gamers that were ride or die Final Fantasy players. I really feel like they did it in such a good way that those players were okay with the change. Where
Right.
that like I haven't heard you spark a bad comment about it, and I know you're way more of a diehard Final Fantasy player than me. I mean, I've played my fair share, but I yeah, I think they did it in an excellent way. They really did do a good job at transferring it from one play style to another, and I think
Yeah.
it was appreciated.
Oh yeah, my biggest gripe has been on Final Fantasy VII remake. Them not how to say it, them not pushing out a fuller game when they released it. Like I was expecting to at least get half a game, but they didn't even give you that. They gave you a third of a game,
Yeah,
barely a third of a game. So I was like, whoa. That's been my only complaint from Square or Square Onyx in the past like 10 years.
yeah,
Because Final Fantasy VII remake wasn't long enough. It should have been longer. But you know, on the other side of it, they're not willing to sacrifice quality. They're saying no, you got quality, and I did. I got quality gameplay there. That game gave me quality gameplay, so I was happy with that. But I was just for that linearness and that being able to go out into the open world, like that part of the game. I was really hoping for that, and I kind of got let down. I was like, oh man, everything's linear. Like that, the whole first one is linear. So I hope the second one that comes out, I hope they really actually expand it to a good open world option for a while. Then I
So yeah,
um
so just to give everybody an update because I'm looking at the starting menu of uh, Diablo 4 here for the beta. They give you access to three of the characters. You are given access to the barbarian, the sorcerer, and the rogue. Everybody else they still just kind of keep locked. So those are the three characters. If you're looking to pre-order Diablo 4 and play the beta to see what it's going to be offering, those are the three characters you're going to be giving an opportunity to play. I think for me, for just starting off here messing around, I think it's going to be all about the sorcerer. I want to see what magic they have to offer here. So that's the road I think we're gonna go playing. But yeah, I mean that's gonna be what do we got right now? It's midnight. I'll probably be on for the next 3-4 hours, getting it in on Diablo tonight, and you can catch me right there in the corner. Jump on, check me out. I'll be having a blast
Awesome,
playing this
beautiful.
with my goddaughter. Me and her are gonna be nerding out, sitting side by side, just geeking out on the game and seeing what they got to offer.
Yep. And, all right, so I threw a comment over there. She's playing, but it's not live. I can't see anything.
That's here. Let me see. Hold on. We'll fix that because it says on my screen that we are live. So why is that? Why it says we're on Twitch? You sure?
Yeah.
Stream name. Well, we gotta fix that. Why is that? I wonder if they're not allowing people to stream the beta. I'm gonna jump on Twitch real quick and just look it up and see if they're.
Anybody else is streaming the beta?
Yeah, exactly. Before tonight, let's see. No, we got people streaming it, so they're allowing that, which would be stupid for them to not, because obviously you want people to see what you're offering. Why are let's go onto my live stream. We'll just kind of stop it here and reset it and see if that. Let's go live. This game does not allow live streaming. So yeah, that means only a selective few people are going to be able to live stream it for right now. So yep. So
That's so whack.
I will not be live streaming it, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'll be having fun for the next 4 hours playing it.
I bet.
But yeah, June. Yeah. I want to say it's June 4th or June 6th is its release date, and I mean, I've already been talking with Brandon. Me and him are going to be nerding out on it. Josh and his son are going to be playing. I got a good group of friends that I know I'm going to be jumping on this game with, and we're going to be going nuts. It's one of those games.
So there is one more game that's not on the hot list to be looking for, and that's going to be Ark 2.
Do not even get me started, Oz.
Hey, all I have to say is the last 2 articles I've read said sometime mid-summer there might be a surprise Ark 2.
Yeah, I mean,
so it got pushed back last year.
It did. So COVID played its role on pushing Ark 2 back from releasing. I mean, let's just be real right now with our audience. Me and one of my close friends, Brandon, bought our own server after already playing the game a bunch. I had already put tons of hours on servers with the game, and we ended up buying our own server so we could mod it up and have some fun with it, and invited a handful of friends, Web C being one of them. And I mean, Ark is probably one of the funnest and worst games you can possibly play, and I mean that in the best of ways. because Ark will absolutely steal your time from reality. You are when you get into it, you dig into it and you like it and you want it, you are going to come home from work, tuck your kids and whatever, and you're not going to want to do anything but raise your
Feed the
dinosaurs,
dinosaurs.
build your base, farm your material you need, etc. Like, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
Yep,
I
I'm so excited.
I
I'm
I
so excited.
I am trying not to be excited because I know when I dive into this new arc, which arc has been out for many, 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 many years. When they first dropped arc, they were still in when arc first dropped, it was still almost in like a beta form. They were constantly improving and fixing it as people were playing it. I mean, obviously, any arc player would tell you the biggest problem with arc is the lag, because there's so much going on in this game. There's so much when it comes to you building your base and how much is
It's
there.
legitimately a world.
It's and yeah, and you're that's the probably the biggest downfall of the game. But if you were on a good server, or you knew how to keep your base to a minimum to where the lag wasn't ruining the gameplay for you, it's I mean, for me, one of the funnest games. I love building. You know, I've nerded out. I've done my fair share of nerding out on Minecraft. Um, um, uh, uh, what? Oh gosh, what is it? Nights. What is the one that we played? Did you play? Oh, it's on. I played it on the PlayStation with Brandon for a while. There was a very Minecraft-ish Knights something. I'm really mad that I can't think of the name of it right now. Um,
I remember we played Genshin Impact for a while. Um,
Hold on,
I
I
don't
will come
remember.
up with this answer because I'm really mad that I can't even.
Knights of Sidonia?
No.
'Cause that's the only Knights game I can think of.
I don't know. I can't find. I'm really mad because I don't want to load up my PlayStation just to find this game. But anyways, like those basic builder games, like they've been fun, and I mean, Ark bring it to a whole new level with
Hmm.
I mean, the animals, the taming, I mean, there's so much depth. I mean, and then I mean, like on the server that we had, I mean, we would go to we had multiple uh islands that we connected to our server, so we could go around and do all the different boss fights. I mean, we went nuts as a community on that game.
I
And
had so much fun with it.
oh god, I mean, just a blast. And I'm glad that you jumped on it with us. It was, yeah. The, Arc 2, let's fucking go. Let's go. This
Oh yeah.
is it's about to get real. Like my 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 my, my amazing woman is going to hate me if if God forbid I jump on Arc 2 when this thing drops. I promise you that this game is going to start fights within my household, because this game is a soul snatcher.
Oh yeah. This is a Soul Snatcher, and it like turns you into a zombie. The only time you're happy is when you're playing the game. Otherwise, you're.
I'm missing the tame on my dragon. my wyvern is missing its fucking its milk.
I gotta go check my eggs. My eggs are hatching. My eggs are...
Oh my god! Like,
Oh man,
let's
God, the intenseness of it. Yep.
let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Well, that's been a great show tonight, guys. I'm just gonna call it here.
Yeah.
Don't forget to head over to our sponsor, Clarksville Hobby Depot LLC, and pick you up
Absolutely.
this really cool 1080p quad drone. it's $50 off, and it's almost out of stock. So head over there and get you one. Along with that, if you're on any of the other websites and not at YouTube, hit this QR code and it will bring you to our YouTube, which is WebC Officials headquarters, where we do all our shows from the Cutting Board Post and Friday Night Kit Bash to the Late Night L.O.A.D. So head on over there and check us out and see what shows we got all listed up over there. And if you want to become a content supporter and get mentioned on our shows, just like Clarksville Hobby Depot LLC, head over to WebC Patreon and sign up for the Patreon. And when you do, I'll get a notification and we'll start talking about you. All right. This is a great night. Have a great night, everybody.